Welcome to Old Mears Show. I'm Old.
Mears.
That was awful on my part.
It was so bad that I decided to shave the goatee.
Yeah, and let's not do that again. Grow back.
It's coming back.
It's freaking me out.
It's coming back fast.
We don't have a microphone this week, so we're still up close and personal. Yes. We have audio issues in this show that is driving us crazy.
Nuts.
But you know what's not driving Vonnie crazy? Making picks, because that's our week's winner.
He was incredible. When 10-4 beat both of us, I went 9-5, you went 8-6. I
stopped
the lead.
You stopped the lead like I've been talking about, but I'm still within reach. I'm going to try and come back this week. Go on molemears.com. Submit your picks. 4 games this week that we're going to feature. We're going to start it with Green Bay going into the New York Jets. I picked the Jets to go on 16. That's one of my wrong picks. What do you think is going to happen this week with the inconsistent Green Bay Packers going up against the consistent Jets?
Well,
what do you got?
You know what the Jets are doing. They're coming off a bye.
Yep.
And teams that come off a bye play better. And you know what? The Jets didn't need the bye to beat Green Bay. They're still going to win. They would have won if they had been playing every week. They are going to go in to their own stadium, and they're going to beat the Packers handily.
Green Bay beat Minnesota last week.
Who cares?
I said that Green Bay is so inconsistent that they cannot consistently lose.
You did say that.
And I was right.
It confused me for a second, but you were right.
The Jets are going to win this week because I said for the rest of the year I want to pick them because I think they're the best team right now in the NFL.
Okay.
After Pittsburgh last week because they stole a win.
They did steal a win.
So, my pick's the Jets. Your picks?
The Jets.
The Jets. Minnesota going into New England.
Yeah, we didn't have many great games to feature, so we had to throw this one in there. You got the Minnesota quarterback and this whole ordeal that's still going on. Doesn't matter. New England's 5-1. Even though their defense might be suspect, they are playing very good football. I like them to hold serve at home and beat the Vikings.
I think it's going to come down. That's my Super Bowl champion picks, New England Patriots. I think it's going to come down to the end of the year whether or not they have improved enough to win and make it to the Super Bowl. They're not there right now.
Not yet.
But this week against Minnesota, Minnesota's quarterback is faking an injury right now. Faking an injury because the investigation is wrapping up and he's going to face a suspension. And this, out of his 12th retirement, will be the final one because he won't want to go out on a 6-game suspension because he sent a picture of his junk to a hot chick. Game 3, Pittsburgh going into New Orleans. New Orleans, the team that I picked to go to the Super Bowl. If I was going to retract a pick, that would be the one. When you get spanked by the Cleveland Browns defensive line in 150 yards of interception returns, you're not the team that I want to be.
They
are rough. They're rough.
They're on and off. One week they'll look like world beaters, the next week they look like the 1970s Saints. Pittsburgh stole a win, as we mentioned earlier, last week against Miami on a call that went their way.
I made up a rule.
Well, the calls that go their way season to season is just incredible.
That was awful.
I still think Pittsburgh's the best team in the NFL, but I think that they're going to take New Orleans too lightly this week. I think Drew Brees is going to come back and have something to prove. They do get Reggie Bush back this week, who is going to be limited, but he still comes back. I'm going to pick the upset and take New Orleans at home.
All right, well, that's a pick that I'm going to go against.
Wow.
Despite the fact that I picked against Pittsburgh last week and they lost. Because when you fumble the ball before the goal line and the ball, when it's all said and done, is in the little bin on the Dolphins sideline, that means the Dolphins had it. And you can make up a rule and give them a field goal and make them win the game. That's awesome. But despite that, when you lose to the Browns, I am not picking you the next week, even though I picked you to the Super Bowl. I can't do it.
It's understandable.
Now, Monday night, I want to hear you combust. Because your theory of coming off a bye is in complete disarray. Houston going into Indianapolis, 2 teams coming off a bye. What happens? It's just like an explosion.
I didn't expect this to ever happen. I don't know that 2 teams coming off a bye could play
in the same
each other.
division.
Yeah, it's not good in my mind. But either way, Houston beat Indianapolis in Week 1. I think for the first time in franchise history, if I'm not mistaken. Peyton Manning is not going to lose to Houston 2 weeks in a row. Neither team has a defense that can do anything. So if I was a betting man, I would take the over. And I would take Indianapolis because I think that Peyton Manning is going to be able to put up a better performance this week than he did in Week 1, and they will win the game.
Last week, I looked to you for a correction as far as Vince Young. And I said Vince Carter, and you agreed. This game is not back-to-back weeks. That's what you just said. But
oh, I did? Sorry about
yeah,
that.
they did. But I'm going to correct your mistake. Because you let me call Vince Young Vince Carter.
Because it was funny.
However, I agree with you. I have to pick Manning's back-to-back weeks on primetime games. The only justice that I see this week as far as me watching primetime games is I don't have to watch the New York team.
That's true.
But I do have to pick a Manning for the second week.
You do.
Because I don't think Houston's got enough ass to come into Indianapolis and beat them, because I thought Houston was going to be a team that was going to come in and be a world beater and take the next step, and they haven't shown me that this year.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think Indianapolis is one of the top 4 teams in the AFC, because the AFC is tough, as you've been saying.
They are strong.
But they will beat Houston this week, as far as I think. But what I think has been proven to be poor in the last 2 weeks.
Not good.
That is our Week 8 picks.
Halfway done.
Halfway done. Next week, Week 9, we go in sequential order.
That's true.
Go on MoleMears.com, make your picks, and win yourself a big T-shirt. And if it's your 3rd time win, we might have to buy you a car. Did I legally obligate myself to that?
I hope not.
We will see you Week 9.
Have a good one.